Archie suffers the disappearance of a close friend, his favorite chair, on All in the Family tonight at 7:30 on Channel 48.
Yes? Oh, hello, Beth.
Well, aren't you the dedicated man of medicine this evening?
I was updating myself on Miss Allen's file. I've decided the next area to reconstruct is the chin and the jaw.
Well, we'll have to hurry if we're going to make that dinner reservation.
Oh, sorry we made those plans. I'd much rather have a quick bite to eat and get to bed early.
You'll feel better once you're out of this place.
I suppose.
By the way, speaking of patients, Sharky showed me the notation you made on Mrs. Carr's chart.
What about it?
Well, I know you've canceled all medication for her, but tranquilizers also? Do you think that's wise?
I wasn't aware I had to justify my decisions to you, Beth.
You've really decided to trust her completely. That's a mistake, Kenneth.
I'll be with you in 5 minutes. Why don't you bring the car around?
Into the doctor's office. Bring her right this way. Right this way.
What's going on?
A visitor, Doctor. You're trustworthy, Mrs. Carr.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Mountain Grown Folgers, Mountain Grown Coffee, the richest kind. And by Bold 3 Detergent Plus Fabric Softener. Clean, softens, control static, Bold 3.
You gotta find it, Grandma.
I did. Mommy's favorite birthday dress.
Perfect for you. It's dirty.
Needs a good old-fashioned cleaning.
Feels rough, too.
We'll use Bold 3. Detergent plus fabric softener, all in one.
How can a detergent with a newfangled fabric softener give an old-fashioned clean and soften, too?
Bold 3 can. Watch.
We took the softening and static control of a full-strength fabric softener and concentrated it into a powder. Then we combined it with Bold 3's powerful powder detergent.
Now, I call that an old-fashioned clean.
So soft, too.
Such softness from a box of detergent.
Look, no static cling here.
Bold 3 for an old-fashioned clean and a newfangled fabric softener in one.
Hey, Ed, what'd you use an automatic coffee maker?
Folgers Flaked Coffee.
Great.
What do you use in the automatic coffee maker?
Folgers Flaked Coffee.
Delicious.
Mrs. Olson, what did you use? Oh, Folgers Flaked Coffee.
Nothing's better in these coffee makers.
Where's that?
Folgers is mountain grown, the richest kind of coffee. It's a coffee recommended by Mr. Coffee, the best-selling coffee maker.
And it's flaked?
Flaked to release more rich flavor, so you use less. If you normally use 5 measures, you only need 4 of Folgers Flaked Coffee.
Delicious.
Mountain grown Folgers. That's how good coffee makers make great coffee.
Martina isn't the woman I thought she was. She doesn't even have the same name. name? What the heck are you talking about?
Her name should be Wells, not Duval.
What's the matter with you, Gavin? You're not making any sense at all.
There's another guy, Kelly. A guy that she was crazy about, crazy enough to marry, in spite of what he was. Anyway, it's over. I don't want to see her again. I can't.
You all right, miss? I said, are you okay?
Yes. I'm just waiting for a friend.
Well, you know, it's not too good an idea being out here all alone.
I'm sure he will be back soon.
Well, don't wait for the guy too long, okay?
Thank you.
My life is over, and yet I'm still alive.
So how long are you going to keep her in the hospital?
Oh, probably just another day or so. She didn't swallow very much of that river water, but since the river is not crystal clear, we want to make sure she didn't catch anything.
Yeah.
Don't look so sad. You know, it's very good that she'll be just fine.
Physically.
Her mental state's another question. Just hope we did the right thing in foregoing that psychiatric
Oh,
care.
yeah. It would have been terrible for her to go in the hospital. Miles, you were very wonderful to talk to Chief Mallory and to take full responsibility.
Well, it's just that she's been so good to you, I kind of think of her now as a friend of the family.
Well, I want you to know something. It's not going to be all your responsibility. I promise you. I am going to take very good care of her.
Yeah? You're gonna have to, considering my schedule. I just hope we did the right thing, that's all.
I know we did. I know she'll never try anything like that again. Miles, she wants to live. She really wants to be happy, just like everybody else.
Yeah, well, all the same, while she's here, you gotta be very observant of her. I don't mean you have to watch her like a time bomb, but you gotta be very careful you notice any sudden change of mood.
Okay, I will.
Even if she's suddenly very bright and cheery, that's not necessarily a good sign.
Okay, I promise. Any changes, I'll call you immediately.
Yeah, you will call me, except it just occurs to me you're gonna be kind of busy yourself.
Oh, yeah, I suppose I will be. Except I don't know when that new job's going to start.
Well, this Mr. Whitney's kind of starting from scratch, isn't he? I mean, what does he have now? It just says you and that theater of his.
Yeah, I really don't know what his plans are. I mean, I know he needs a choreographer. He needs other dancers. I'm really not sure if he'll use the ones that Martine and Gavin have chosen. You know, Miles, I'm sort of feeling guilty.
About what?
Well, about taking Martine's job.
Jody, that's not the reason Martine did what she did.
Oh, I know. I know. She did that because she lost Gavin and because of the man she was married to in Europe.
And you did not take her job. You're not her rival. You're her friend. I think you've managed to prove that.
Well, I couldn't pass up the opportunity.
No, I didn't think you could either.
So, you don't think I did the wrong thing,
No,
do you?
you didn't. What I do think is that you are mighty tired. You've had a long day, and you probably ought to get right on up to bed.
Yeah, well, actually, I'm a little overtired. I was going to make myself some warm milk. Would you like some?
Sure.
Okay, 2 glasses of warm milk coming up.
Hold the cookies.
You know, Miles, there's something that still puzzles me.
What's that?
Well, remember what the doctor told us about the man who found Martine?
Only that he didn't stick around to be identified.
Yeah. Well, who do you suppose it was?
Well, looks like all we gotta do now is wait for you to get this tetanus shot and we can get out of here.
Now, you better make it a double. You wouldn't believe some of the trash I had to dodge in that river.
You know, you're really turning into quite a thrill-a-minute cop, Damien.
Well, I try to keep it exciting.
You, mind answering one question for me?
Well, try not to make it too heavy. My brain's still a little bit waterlogged.
After you pulled Martine out of the drink, why didn't you, hang around?
Well, the lady was safe. Help was on the way. What more could I do there?
Oh, come on. Next you're going to tell me that one of your ancestors was the Lone Ranger. You know what procedure is. You were supposed to stay there until your backup arrived. Now, why'd you take off like that?
You need to know why? Look, I didn't want Martine Duval to know that I was her good Samaritan because I didn't want her to know that I had been following her.
Goodbye, night cream. Hello, Johnson's baby oil.
Goodbye, bath oil. Hello, Johnson's baby oil.
Goodbye, body moisturizer. Hello, Johnson's baby oil. A lot of women like me are saying hello to Johnson's baby oil because of all the ways it works to keep skin beautiful, from softening all over to removing makeup and glossing lips.
Johnson's baby oil from Johnson & Johnson. A lot of ways to say hello to beautiful skin.
Once upon a time, there was a little girl with a red bottom, which made her very unhappy. One day, a handsome prince came to her rescue. I have a magic powder, he said. It's Johnson's baby cornstarch. It's so absorbent, it helps soothe and prevent chafing and irritation. And her daddy was right. Her bottom felt better, her tears dried up, and they lived happily ever after with Johnson's baby cornstarch, the powder that works like magic, from Johnson & Johnson.
Well, it certainly is a good thing for Miss Duval that you did decide to tail her.
Well, it's a lucky thing that I used to earn my tuition as a lifeguard.
And just one other question. Why were you tailing her?
I'm a cop.
So what?
So maybe I was practicing.
Come on, Lone Ranger. I'm not Tonto. I'm a cop, too. Now, why were you trailing this chick if it had nothing to do with the case?
Look, I was off duty tonight, Calvin. What I do with my own time is my own business, right?
Oh, I see. So it's personal. Is that it?
Okay. I was trying to find out more about this scam that Miss Duval was involved in back in Europe. Are you satisfied?
Damien, Martine's life of crime is ancient history. Why don't you ease up on her?
Well, I have a feeling that she knows where this husband of hers is.
She swore that she hasn't seen that dude since he ran out on her in Paris.
Yeah, well, I've never been able to take a criminal's word as gospel, Calvin.
Oh, so as far as you're concerned, Collier Wells is in Monticello and you expect Martine to just lead you right to him. Is that
Well,
it?
the thought had passed through my mind, yeah. Besides, there was nothing worthwhile staying home to watch on TV.
Well, as far as I can see it, Martine would like nothing more than to just pretend that she was never even involved in this whole mess.
Well, you've got a big heart, Calvin.
Well, she's already been punished plenty. I mean, she's lost everything of value to her. That's why she took that swan dive off the bridge tonight.
She made her bed.
Well, your compassion overwhelms me.
Look, I have a favor to ask of you, Calvin.
Really? What?
This thing that happened tonight, the swim I took, I want to keep it between you and me.
Oh, come on, you gotta be kidding.
No, I mean it. I have no intention of filing a report.
Why not?
I have my reasons.
Wait a minute. You save a jumper and you don't want anybody to know about it?
Look, I can keep the lid on this with your cooperation.
Yeah, but what you did was way above and beyond the call. You're at least due a citation for that.
Well, I'll pass. Thanks.
Oh, now that river water really must have affected your brains. Am I supposed to believe that Mr. Hotshot Cop himself all of a sudden doesn't want anybody to know that he's a hero?
No. No, there's something I want much more than that.
All right, Detective. Everything looks okay for you to go home. Here's some dry clothes. Just be sure to bring them back. We may need them again.
Yeah, Wiley Dance Studio.
Oh, so there you are.
Jody?
Yeah, I was almost beginning to think that you weren't there.
Yeah, well, I put my head down for a 5-minute rest. I guess it was a long time ago. What time is it?
You obviously have no idea of what's happened.
What's up?
I thought you might be interested to know that, Martine tried to take her life tonight.
What?
That's right. She tried to drown herself by jumping off the 9th Street Bridge.
Oh, my God. Is she all right?
Yeah, Gavin. Luckily, someone pulled her out of the water in time.
Why would she want to do something like that?
You know very well why she would do something like that. Just taking a look at her life the past few days. It's a mess.
Yeah, but is ending it gonna be the answer?
Don't you have any idea what she was feeling inside to do something that drastic?
She is going to be all right, isn't she?
Physically, yes.
Where's she now?
She's being treated at Monticello General.
All right, I've got to go see her.
Gavin, don't waste your time. It's way past visiting hours.
All right, well, then I'll see her first thing tomorrow morning. Thanks for calling, Jody.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.
Start out his day in a special way. Be there at 3 on the dot. Put in new ribbons when you braid her hair. Little things mean a lot.
The little things I do for my family really do mean a lot. So I care about everything that touches our lives, like White Cloud.
White Cloud?
Uh-huh. I can't buy a softer bathroom tissue.
So?
Well, White Cloud's more than soft. It's made of 2 full, fluffy plies. And you know 2 are more than
1.
And watch this. See?
Wow.
White Cloud's the most absorbent. Softness, fullness, and absorbency. They're all little things that add up to White Cloud quality for this family.
Mom. White Cloud, because little things mean a lot.
Hey, your folks got a new set of wheels.
Come on! We brought you something.
Puritan oil?
Puritan is part of our diet to fight cholesterol.
And it makes food taste great.
I use corn oil. Puritan has more polyunsaturates than corn oil. It also looks lighter. Tastes lighter.
Delicious. You young folks really know what's cooking.
Puritan, a delicious part of your diet to fight cholesterol.
I thought you intended to watch that playoff game tonight, Kelly.
I guess I'm not much in the mood.
I think I can guess what's troubling you.
Oh, is it that obvious?
Why feel down? You don't even know for sure that Jody has accepted Skylar Whitney's offer.
I do know, Mike. Of course she has.
Oh? Have you been keeping your powers of ESP a big secret? We've been home together all evening. The phone hasn't rung once.
Yeah, that's the tip. The phone hasn't rung once.
Ah. No news being bad news, huh?
Look, Mike, Jody knows how I feel about this. If she'd turned down Sky Whitney's offer, she would have called me hours ago.
I suppose that makes sense, yes.
She's probably having a hard time trying to find the easiest possible way to tell me that it's official. That she's the new star of the Whitney Dance Company.
Now, wait a minute, Kelly. You told me you'd be supportive of Jody, no matter what her decision.
I don't think that being supportive of Jody's decision is the best way that I can help her right now, especially since I don't think that she should go to work for Skylar Whitney.
Well, if the situation proves too much for her, she can always quit, can't she?
Yeah, but what happens when he locks her into a contract that ties her hand and foot?
Well, if it'll help, I could look at the contract.
Yeah, but I gotta stop her before she signs it.
Kelly, I think you should be more tolerant until you see how it goes.
I can already see how it's gonna go. Just look what happened to Martine.
Oh, the situations aren't the same. Martine Duval was a lot more than just Whitney's star.
Yeah, I know.
Kelly, don't be hard-nosed about this. Whatever you do, don't give Jody an ultimatum. It's not fair to her, and I don't think you'll like the consequence.
No, I won't, Mike. I don't want this to split us up.
Kelly, what you and Jody have is very precious. You may not realize that now. But like a lot of precious things, it's also fragile.
But Jody's got to know that I feel the way I do because I care for her, doesn't she? Oh. Okay, maybe she doesn't know. All right, Mike. All right, you're right. I'll try the best that I can to keep this from coming between us.
Try hard, Kelly. You don't realize how much you'll miss what you have until it's gone.
It's fortunate Sharky was there. Otherwise, we would be searching the grounds right now.
Yeah, you should thank us for getting a hold of you, Mrs. Carr.
Because if you'd gotten a hold of the electrical fence, you would have been in for a very shocking experience.
Oh, I'm sure she knew which button to push. Then all she would have had to do was run for help. And everything would have been ruined.
How could you do such a thing, Mrs. Carr?
I thought it was worth the try, Dr. Bryson.
And I really believe what you said about behaving yourself.
Looks like you blew it, Mrs. Carr. And you were in line for the Doc's Patient of the Week award.
Be quiet, Sharky.
Did you honestly think that I was resigned to what you were doing to me here?
Well, that attitude would have been best for all of us, Mrs. Carr.
I'd never promised that I wouldn't try to get out of here if I could.
Uh-oh. Sounds like the patient may try to discharge herself again, Doc.
Well, she wouldn't have had the opportunity this time if it hadn't been for you, Sharky.
Here we go again. No harm was done.
You know full well what's at stake here. How could you be so careless as to leave the woman's door open?
It was an accident. I guess I'm not perfect after all.
We cannot afford any accident, Sharky.
I was just going back to close the door when, Mrs. Carr made her break for it.
I suppose you think you deserve a medal.
Don't be hard on Sharky.
I will not tolerate stupidity.
Well, it's as much my fault as his.
From him or you, Beth.
I had my hands full at the moment, and I asked him to help me.
I was just trying to be a good little soldier, Doc, but I've only got 2 hands.
I should fire you right now.
Oh, no, you won't, Kenneth.
Oh, no, you won't, Kenneth.
I've nothing more to say to you, Sharky. Now get out.
You know, Mrs. B was right on the money about Mrs. Carr. The lady can't be trusted.
When I want your opinion, I'll ask for it. Now leave.
I'll be by later to strap you in, Mrs. Carr.
That man is an absolute abomination.
I don't like saying I told you so, Kenneth. But in the light of what has happened, I insist that you listen to me.
You've made matters a great deal more difficult for us now, Mrs. Carr. I hope you realize
Don't
that.
blame me for your troubles, Dr. Bryson. You brought them on yourself.
If you could only understand.
She does not have to understand. What we must do is to make sure that this problem does not arise again.
And you've already decided how to do that, haven't you, Mrs. Bryson?
Well, what are you talking about?
I know exactly what she's thinking. The only solution is to kill me.
I didn't think anyone made jeans that could stand up to the human hurricane. Then Timmy, the hurricane himself, said he wanted Levi's jeans. And I thought, well, after 130 years of making jeans for men, they ought to know how to build Levi's jeans for kids. And it's true. Look, his knees, pockets, and seams are still hanging in there. I'd call that a bargain. In fact, I'd say Levi's jeans make dressing a hurricane kind of a breeze.
Good heavens, look who's turning Diet 7-Up.
Oh, that's right, big boy. I'll give up calories, but not taste. Why should I?
I won't give up taste, I can't, and I won't.
Ah, you don't have to. You know what I mean?
Diet 7-Up is crisp and light. You take it from me. There's no aftertaste. And don't play it again.
Wonderful, darling, but do you have a straw?
He was looking at you, kid.
Sweetheart.
Diet 7-Up. The only thing you give up is calories.
Fred and Lamont become outraged after viewing a TV show that is similar to their own lives on Sanford & Son tonight at 7. Then at 7:30, Archie suffers the emotional loss of a loved one, his favorite chair, on All in the Family right here on Channel 48.
You've got to stop thinking that way, Mrs. Carr.
Now, Dr. Bryson, why should I believe that everything is going to be fine when I know that my silence is a necessity?
Dealing with the situation in that manner is the furthest thing from our minds.
Or from your mind. But I'm afraid you're a bit outnumbered. Tonight was something of a setup, Dr. Bryson. Because I didn't get away tonight because Sharky and your wife played a trick on me. Because your wife wants to be rid of me, and the sooner the better. Sharky could kill me as soon as look at me, and as far as Ira Gideon is concerned...
dear, I think Mrs. Carr is a bit paranoid.
Doctor, I think you are outnumbered by 3 to 1, so you'll forgive me if I don't feel comforted by your assurances.
I gave you my word.
Your... How good is your word?
All right, Kenneth. What do we do now? What do we do with her now that we know she cannot be trusted?
Yes, Kenneth. What will you do?
I would just have to make firmer rules about you, Mrs. Carr, and make sure they're enforced to the letter.
Well, then does that mean that I'm going to have to stay here forever?
We're not killers here, Mrs. Carr.
Not yet.
Beth.
Yes?
Would you please escort Mrs. Carr back to her room?
Gladly. Come along, Mrs. Carr.
Mrs. Carr! Oh, don't!
With my arthritis, getting in and out of the tub can be frightening. But with arthritis strength bufferin, I can ease the minor pain for hours, move better. It gives me extra strength when the arthritis first flares up. But arthritis strength bufferin adds extra protection from stomach upset ordinary aspirin can cause. Sure feels good to have the extras of arthritis strength bufferin.
Arthritis strength bufferin. Extra strength, extra protection.
With Comtrex, you may almost forget you have a cold.
I have a cold, but thanks to Comtrex, I sure don't feel like it.
My cold is bad, but with Comtrex, it's almost like it's not there at all.
You could take any of these for a cold, but for one with nasal congestion, runny nose, aches, and coughs, Comtrex multi-symptom cold reliever is better. All by itself, Comtrex relieves all the major cold symptoms more than Dristan or Contac or Bayer. Try Comtrex in tablets, capsules, or liquid.
Tonight at 7, Fred and Lamont become outraged when a television show they're watching is very similar to their lives on Sanford and Son. And at 7:30, Archie suffers the emotional loss of a loved one, his chair, on All in the Family. Stay tuned now as Gary Collins and Diane Baker guest star on Love Boat, next on Channel 48.
This is Field Communications in Philadelphia.
Now more than ever, your Rite Aid pharmacies are the real word in town for value, where you'll find everyday low prices on a wide variety of health and beauty aids for the entire family. And now there's even greater value with special Rite Aid savings like these. A bottle of 100 Bufferin tablets, regularly $2.29, now only $1.99. For Ban Roll-On users, the 2.5-pound size, regularly $2.35, is now on sale for only $1.49. But hurry, visit your nearest Rite Aid pharmacy today. That's Rite Aid, the real word in town for value.
Thinking of a new career? Train this week, work next week. If you're 18 or older and you like people, you could train to be a professional bartender day or evenings in 1 week. Free, full, and part-time job placement assistance for graduates. There are many excellent jobs available right now for men and women. Train this week and be ready to work next week. For more information, call the Professional Bartender School for a free brochure. Phone L09-2255. Do it now. That's L09-2255.